it's glory, then I'm gonna get it tonight.
Who the goddamn glory for? I'm head of the block, you last lining like corner stores. Or play second like 1 and 1, but no 11. Money talk or leave a message, like bitch you guessed it. Me and my left always beat the odds like lucky sevens. Connect the links, I chain the shit, 7-11. And this was scripted with left and right after the 7th. I'm God flowing and resting after the excellence, yeah. Could've passed, but I chose to answer the call. My main line for side joints that want it all. My sideline for main chicks with plenty flaws. And these lines so all of them know they lost.
Hi, I'm Mary Dennis. This is Miss Moore, Cambria, and May, and y'all welcome to Swag Talk. Today, what I want to talk to you guys about is something that's actually kind of been bothering me a little bit lately. The conversation, what happened between Zendaya and Juliana Rancic's comment about the faux locks that she recently wore to the Oscars. Personally, when I saw it, I thought it was really beautiful. I thought she looked like a classy young woman. She looked gorgeous. But during the recent episode of Fashion Police, Juliana Rancic basically, to recap, made a joke stating that she looked like she smelled of weed and patchouli oil because of the faux locks. And I want to take a minute to discuss how far is too far with the joke, because we all know Fashion Police is known for the comments that they make regarding what people wear. And sometimes it could be hurtful, but there's that fine line between what's hurtful and what's funny, and how far is too far. And on top of that, it's also recently been expressed that Juliana Rancic did not write the joke, but is there still a responsibility for her when it comes to saying it or not? Because it's kind of like, for me, seeing a kid that's being bullied and you being the standby person, but you don't say anything. In my eyes, you're just as guilty as the person who's actually doing the bullying. So that's how I feel in regards to that joke. I think that whether or not she wrote it, she had a responsibility to look over it and say, you know what, I don't think this is cool. Yeah. Let's rewrite it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely think on the subject of whether or not she's responsible because she didn't write the joke. She is one of the main faces of the show. Right. So therefore, she has enough weight. She has enough weight to say like, no, I don't want to say this joke. This is racist. But she didn't. And Kelly Osbourne warned she warned them. She said that they shouldn't say the joke, and that's why it was such a big controversy now with Kelly Osbourne. And I think
my question to that is, why would you even say that in your segment? Like, what is it a joke about that? To say somebody look like patchouli oil? Patchouli oil or weed. Like, that ain't even a joke to me, you know? So why would you even write that in your segment?
I don't think it's a joke because, one, I feel like black people are always criticized for our culture. It's like if we are in our natural state, then we're not classy enough, or like we have to be Eurocentric in order for us to you know, it's like respectability politics. Okay. Right. You know, like in order for us to be classy, in order for us to not be criminalized, not look a certain way, like to be held at a higher esteem, we have to, you know, put on this facade. And I don't think there should be anything wrong with us wanting to wear our hairstyles, like hairstyles that's true to our culture.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just, honestly, it's just a shame about it. And what's crazy is I sit here and think, like, I really do feel like she had a responsibility to say something. The same thing happened recently, too, with BET and the joke that was written for Karrueche Tran about Blue Ivy and her hair not being combed. And it's crazy because we have to be the ones that stop it and say, this is not okay, this is not funny. And who are we or anyone else to disrespect somebody's culture? Like, that's pretty much where I stand. And it's kind of weird because I've been reading about it just because I wanted to see like how other people feel, and seeing different comments on how some people feel like it went too far. Some people feel like it was fine, like that people are jumping off the bandwagon, that it's being taken too seriously. But how do you feel when what do you think when it's too far? Well, where that fine line actually is?
With Karrueche, she took it too far when you talking about a child. You know, that draws the line on any type of subject, whether it's her hair, her clothes, her look, her appearance, whatever. When you bring a kid into it, that's just too far, you know.
Right.
And Zendaya, first of all, she looked amazing. And for somebody to actually walk on the red carpet of the Oscars with some locks on is one, like, a movement in the making.
Yeah, that's a movement in itself. That's a movement. I've never seen anybody on the Oscar carpet with
and
locks.
then when that finally move happened, somebody say, it looks like she smells like weed.
Right.
So now it puts in my mind, when somebody sees somebody with locks in their hair, do they automatically think they smoke weed?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Or
the
you know,
it's just
stereotype
negative
that,
stereotypes.
exactly.
There's too many negative stereotypes around like black hairstyles.
Exactly. Or why do it have to stink?
Right.
Yeah.
You know? Why do it gotta stink? Why can't it look like it smells good?
Right.
If she said she looked like she smelled like incense, I would have been like,
She clearly takes
or
care of
coconut
herself.
oil. Like, I would have been like,
Shea butter,
Exactly.
maybe.
yeah,
Something.
but I would have to look like I smell like weed.
Right,
Not
exactly.
realize.
And
know.
the thing I definitely want to commend Zendaya about definitely is the way that she handled it.
Yeah,
she basically posted on Twitter. She didn't name Juliana by name, which was very classy in itself. She just spoke about the situation and the fact that she didn't typically go off on any negative feelings, but she felt like it was her responsibility to say something and nip this in the bud. Yeah. And she was talking about how that hairstyle represents our culture in a beautiful way, and the people that she named that have dreads do not smell like weed or anything like that. So I just thought that it was nice to see someone, and this is someone that my nieces even used to watch on Disney Channel. So it's really nice to see like this girl like actually stood up for herself in a very positive way that I feel like I can be like, okay, my nieces can look up to this girl. She knows what she's talking about, and she was very pleasant. All right, so guys, you've heard our side. I want to know what you guys think. If you go to our link down below, you can follow us, hashtag how far is too far, and give us a sound off. We want to hear from you guys because we wouldn't have a topic without y'all. So that wraps it up for Swag Talk, y'all. Have a good one.
Hello to all my handsome and beautiful swaggeteers. It's your girl, Miss Moore, coming to you straight from the swag. Now, swaggeteers, y'all already know I'm coming to you with some stuff that's on my mind. Now, we're going to talk about these people that's roaming the streets called frenemies. Yes, we all have one. It may be hard to detect who they are, but trust and believe, we all have one. Now, for my swaggeteers out there who do not understand what a frenemy is. A frenemy is a friend, or can I say, a person who want to act like they're your friend, but deep down inside they are your enemy. They hating on you. They don't want to see you succeed in nothing in life. That's what you call a frenemy, okay? Now, swaggeteers, I'm just saying I'm going to give y'all some little pointers to help you point them out, because they are in disguise, which will be hard for you to find them. But I'm going to show you little things you may need to pick up so you know. First example. Say you looking good in that dress, and you feeling yourself, you got confidence out the roof that you look good, right? Now this is your girlfriend, your ace boom boom, who you thought was your friend. And all she got to say is, yeah girl, you look nice in that dress for your size. Wait, did you just, okay. For my size though, did you really have to say that? Huh. Key point, that might be a friend of me. Because she didn't have to say all that. Maybe I was a little bit too big for the dresses. I don't know. But she didn't have to say for your size. Shade. Another example. Say if you are a playwright, a music writer, or just doing something in life that's successful. And you have a girlfriend that's supposed to be on your side like, yes, girl, I knew you could do it. Oh, my God. But she, instead of her saying that, she want to tell you, girl, I think you need to dumb down your stuff a little bit. I mean, I don't think people going to understand it. She may be a friend of me because she don't have no happiness, no good ambitions, or nothing for you. She should be as hype as you for your project. Not telling you to dumb down something. Maybe a friend of me. I'm just saying. Now, Swaggeteers, I'm going to give you one last example, and I want you to go home and think about everything I just said. The last one is, frenemies at your job. Now, you could have had a nice portrait with your whole crew at the job. Beautiful picture of everybody. Then you go back to work and see that you are cut out the picture. You has a secret enemy, okay? And who is that? We don't know, because that's a friend of me. Because when you at work, everybody want to say, hey girl, hey, you look nice, yes girl. But when you look on that wall with the pictures you cut out, who did it? Who did it? Now nobody know nothing. So somebody at work is a friend of me. You got to be careful out here in this world with these enemies, because they no longer are your friend. So Swaggeteers, I want you to go home, start evaluating who you be around with, and understand that we cannot have frenemies around. You need positive people around, and see who's around that loves you for you. On that note, Swaggeteers, I'm out here. But remember this, Swaggeteers, always stay true to yourself and be swaggalicious while you're doing it. I'm your girl, Miss Moore, and I'm out of here from the swag. I'm just saying, peace.
Hi, it's Asha, and I'm about to introduce to you this week's Artist Spotlight, LeBray Taylor. LeBray is a singer, songwriter, and an actress. Now let's take a listen to LeBray's song.
It's been a year now, I thought I was over you. I even tried to move on to someone new, but the love I had for you I just did not lose. Maybe subconsciously I was waiting for you to come back and tell me that you're sorry, but instead you moved on with her, and I'm hating, I'm hating that she's not me. How could you want another? How could you love another? How could you be with another who's not me? What am I gonna do? Move on. That's what I said to myself. When nights get cold and I start missing you, I remember the words that you said, that you need to be alone, but to pursue your dreams you're gonna take me along. As the tears flowed down my face, I didn't say a thing, I just walked away. I couldn't believe you let me walk out the door. I thought I was your lady, the one you adore. Then I heard that you were with her. I know time has passed, but it still hurts. Yeah, I'm hating. Yeah, I'm hating. I'm hating that she's not me. How could you love another? How could you want another?
Thank you.
Hey y'all, I'm Alicia and I'm here to give you the swag 411, and we have to talk about some of these crazy Hollywood relationships that have been rumored all over social media, period. Let me make sure I give you guys this information correctly. Okay, so first we have Nicki Minaj and Meek Mills. They've been rumored to been dating, you know, since about December. But it looks like that everything's been confirmed that they are together. After seeing pictures on her website of them two holding hands, and it's a little hard to miss, you know, Meek Mill's tattoo on his left hand, so I'm pretty sure that it was him. But my question is again, why now? Why are you guys dating now? Nicki Minaj has just gotten out of a relationship. Meek Mills is the hardcore rapper who's always getting into legal trouble. I don't think this relationship will last, but, I mean, they look cute together, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't look like, you know, this is going to be like a match made in heaven. This is just going to be something, you know, for everybody to talk about, something, you know, to give everybody, you know, a couple likes, get more followers on your Instagram. I don't know what it's about, but either way, I mean, congratulations. Okay, so next we have Nick Cannon and Nicole Murphy. This is just crazy because Nick Cannon seems like he's bouncing all over the place ever since, you know, he's been divorced and separated from Mariah Carey. He's been seen with Amber Rose. Now he's been seen with Nicole Murphy. Maybe he's got a thing for older women, or maybe he's just got a thing for women that are already established. You know, these women have already been married. They have money already set to the side. They have children. So maybe he's just looking for a little fun, but fun with these women that like to have fun because they're older and they're not looking for an actual settled down, committed relationship. They're just looking for, you know, the cute little boy toy to play around with. And maybe Nick enjoys being played around with. I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. But I'm looking forward to reading more about Nick Cannon because, again, between Amber Rose and Nicole Murphy, we'll probably hear about some other woman, maybe Naomi Campbell or Taraji. I don't know. We may hear about some other older women. But good luck, Nick Cannon. And I do definitely look forward to reading more about you in my social media. And last but not least, I have to talk about Chris Brown and his baby that just came out. Goodness gracious, Chris, if it's not one thing, it's another with you. You're in the court system. You're now going to be going to child support court because now that this baby's been rumored to have come out, this woman now wants child support. Now, where I think he kind of messed up with that is, or she per se, is the fact that he was already paying, you know, giving this woman money for this baby. But now that she's going to go to court, it looks like she's going to be getting less than what Chris Brown was already paying. So if she would have just kept her mouth shut, she would have been getting money. You would have had Chris Brown on the side. You would have had your baby. And everything would have been great. But now you're going to get shorted on your money. And the media is not going to like you. Because now we know that this baby is out. But we're looking at you as like a gold digger now. Like, where did this baby come from? Why did you come out 9 months later and tell us about a baby? Was it to ruin the relationship between Chris and Karrueche? Because we've also heard that I think the baby's mom's name is Nia. So Nia and Karrueche were friends. But now they're not friends, and Karrueche and Chris are not together. So this is going to get pretty messy. So look forward to hearing more about this. And that's all I have for Swag Talk 411. Again, my name is Alicia, and take care.
What's up? It's your girl Autumn from Swag. Today's segment is Beauty from the Inside Out. Have you ever heard the expression, beauty is only skin deep? Yeah, I'm most certain that you have. Beauty begins from the inside out. First, you want to start by putting the proper things inside of your body. That's what I like to call beauty fuel. The proper fuel is plenty of water, fresh fruits and lots of veggies, healthy snacks, positive conversations, and inner confidence. It was pretty good. Well, I'm Autumn, and you have just been beautified from the inside out.
Hey world, I'm Sugar Hips Nicole. I'm not a stripper, but I'm from the swag. I'm here representing It Just Got Real. Alright, my job. They boast and brag about fighting and winning unemployment benefits when they fire and lay off employees. Well, it became my turn. After all my blood, sweat, tears, and skin cells, they finally laid me off. Now, I'm an arbitrary, that means court for unemployment, fighting for my benefits. This is money that come out of my check every 2 weeks, and they won't give me my money, okay? So, I'm fighting for my benefits. The thing about it is, they lucky I ain't got no kids, and I got hustle. On that note, make sure that you fight for your unemployment benefits at any job when you get fired and laid off. It wasn't like I stole something or I was frauding or anything that was criminal. I was just a good worker who bumped heads with people at the job. The bottom line is, it's my money, it's your money. Now, on that note, it just got real because I'm going to keep still fighting for my unemployment benefits. I see y'all at court. It just got real.
Hey, I'm Justin.
And I'm Cambria, and this is Food for Thought. Right now we're at Morning Glory, and we're going to give you a little review of this breakfast spot. It's located in South Philly on 10th and Fitzwater. And we're just going to talk about the food and the atmosphere of the restaurant.
Alright, so I got the steak and eggs, the potatoes, and a hot biscuit.
And I have the breakfast burrito. It's potatoes. There's some bacon inside of the burrito. So we're just going to taste the food and give you our thoughts on it.
Alright, so I'm going to take my first bite of my steak. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. I got medium well. It's pretty juicy. I'm going to taste the potatoes. Potatoes are pretty good. A lot of flavor.
The homemade ketchup is pretty sweet. I kind of like the taste of it. It's lighter than the normal ketchup. The consistency is a little thinner. But I think all in all it's pretty good. Their coffee is pretty good here. I like the ambiance of the restaurant. It is called Morning Glory, and they have like different 4-leaf clovers in the windows. It's pretty bright in here. I like the color, the paintings. And the setup is really nice. They have a little patio in the back, so I'm just going to turn the camera so you can see.
The only negative review I have, they don't have omelets, and I'm a big omelet guy. Oh, another one, the tables are kind of small, it's kind of tight, but I'm going to try the biscuit now. Yeah, the biscuit's pretty good, nice and fluffy inside, kind of crispy outside. But yeah, I like the place, the food is good. The wait wasn't that long.
Yeah, how long was the wait time?
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes on a Sunday. 20 minutes on a Sunday isn't that bad. The food came out pretty quick. I would say about average time for food to come out. And then all in all, I would give this place, I would say, based off of the potatoes so far and the ketchup, I would give it a 7. I would like some onions in my potatoes, but you know, you can't get everything.
Also, they were a little skimpy on the potatoes. I got more potatoes than she did, but it should be a little even, you know?
Yeah, but I'm going to taste the burrito now because I have not yet tasted my burrito.
I'm having a little difficulty cutting through the burrito. So I believe in this burrito there's bacon, eggs, cheese, I think some spinach, but there's spinach listed. It's really good. They have a little spicy chili sauce in the burrito. And usually I'm not a burrito person, I'm more of a pancake person, but I was in the mood for something more savory today, and I think this was a good choice. So all in all, I think I would give this place about an 8 on the scale, like on a scale of 1 to 10.
I would give it about a 7. Yeah. There are a couple other places that I want to try, and we tried this place for as a recommendation. But no, I think the food is good. Just I wish we had a bigger table. Actually, the customer service is really good too.
Hi, I'm Asha, and this is Nerdology 101 on The Swag, your intellectual introduction to geek and nerd culture. Now, there are a number of ways that geeks and nerds can be classified as such based on today's lexicon, but what matters most is how we classify ourselves. As geeks and nerds alike, we often find ways to express our own individuality through the characters we identify ourselves with. Allow me to introduce you to 3 amazing characters in the comic book world who possess exemplary qualities as well as epic battle skills. Aurora Monroe, also known as Storm, is a respected teacher at Professor Xavier's School for the Mutants. As a mutant herself and a member of the X-Men team, she is a very powerful mutant who can control the weather and use it to her advantage. Aside from that, she is a well-respected leader, a philanthropist. She's compassionate and just an all-around great person. Now, not all comic books have clear-cut superheroes and villains. The Walking Dead surrounds ordinary people who struggle to survive during a zombie apocalypse. Michonne starts off as a mistrusted Lone Ranger character who then grows to be a very valuable team player. She skillfully wields this Japanese sword called a katana. She's bold, she's intuitive, and very resourceful. Now, Natasha Romanoff is another comic book character that you do not want to piss off. As a member of the organization S.H.I.E.L.D. and a member of the Avengers team, she's known as Black Widow. She's trained in martial arts and classically trained in ballet. She doesn't have any special powers, but she still remains a force to be reckoned with. She's brave, she's assertive, and she's incredibly smart. Now, what do all of these fabulous females have in common? They're strong individuals who always bring a positive impact to the people around them. Now, that's all for today. I'm Asha, and this is Nerdology 101 on The Swag.
Winifred.
And I'm Mary. And welcome to Film Strip.
Coming at you with movie reviews of low-budget, independent films that you may not have heard of because they never made it to the mainstream.
Have you guys ever noticed that sometimes when you watch the Oscars or the Golden Globes, they'll have movies features that you never got a chance to hear of because they never were marketed towards the more big budget movie theaters? Well, today we're going to give you guys a rundown of what's hot and what's not in those films. Now, recently, I got a chance to sit down and watch the Oscars, and one of the films that stood out to me was the movie Whiplash, and I'd wanted to see it for a while. I I never got around to it, always busy with work or something that just stopped me from getting to see it. But after the Oscars, it was available on my on-demand, so I rented it. It was amazing. I got to tell you guys, it was actually a really good film. It's written and directed by Damien Chazelle, and he wrote it based on experiences that he had when he was a jazz musician at Princeton High School. And he was talking about how he felt kind of miserable in it, just the pressure that he was under from a lot of his professors. And the story is about a professor named Terrence Fletcher, who's played by J.K. Simmons, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in that role. And Miles Teller plays his student, Andrew, who is a first year at Schaefer School for musicians. And basically the tumultuous relationship that they have there, first of all, J.K. Simmons' character is extremely abusive to his students. He makes them cry. He, at one point, throws a chair at Miles Teller's character, but he does it in the name of trying to make his students better or make them reach their best potential. And the character Andrew in particular is obsessed with the drummer Charlie Parker, who himself experienced a traumatic situation where he was embarrassed on stage, and it basically made him work harder to become a better drummer. So that's how he kind of sees himself. But the thing that I found interesting was how, when you look at it, we've all had experiences with professors that want us to do our best and want us to, you know, strive to be harder. And sometimes they are hard on us, but what this movie kind of explores is how far is too far for someone to try and push you, like where it kind of goes on that verge of abusive, which J.K. Simmons did amazingly. Like I was kind of scared of him for a minute. I will never complain about any of my professors ever again after seeing that. And what's interesting was the film started off actually as a short film that the director premiered at the 2013 Sundance Film Festival, and from there it expanded to the full-length film that it is now, with Miles Teller taking over as Andrew instead for the full-length film. But if any of you guys get a chance, this is definitely a really good movie. There's really good jazz pieces, and it's amazing that Miles did a really good job learning more about how to play for a jazz, like jazz compositions for it. So I definitely recommend it as a good film to sit down and watch.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. Yeah, I heard of that movie, but I didn't hear of it until the Oscars came out, and it did sound interesting. This year I really didn't watch that many Oscar movies at all. But I took a different route, and I decided to watch a movie on Netflix. Because often, you know, you go on Netflix to watch a movie, and then there's a bunch of recommended movies for you that you've just never heard of, and a lot of them might be like B movies or just independent films, and you just don't know what to choose. So this one movie had been sitting in my recommended movies for a really long time, and it's called The Inevitable Defeat of Mr. and Pete.
Oh, cool.
And I decided finally one day, like, okay, this has been sitting up here. They were giving it like 4 stars for me, so I decided to watch it. And actually, it had some pretty well-known people in it. Jennifer Hudson was one of the main characters. And I thought she did a phenomenal job. She played a heroin addict mother in the film. So this movie is a bit of a tearjerker. I'm not going to lie to you. If you don't like to be sad, if you don't like crying at night, you know, with your popcorn, then maybe this isn't the movie for you. But I definitely recommend it to people who are, you know, just looking for a good film to watch. Another character that was in it that I was surprised to see was Jordan Sparks. Everyone knows her from American Idol. I mean, she's not my favorite actress. She keeps trying, but she's not getting there for me. But in this movie, she had a pretty small role, so she didn't take anything away from the film. But the film was directed by someone I've never heard of. His name is George Tillman Jr. And the screenwriter, his name is Michael Starbury, and this was the first film that he has ever written, the first screenplay. And the movie was basically a coming-of-age story about this one kid named Mr. He's about 13, 14. He just failed the 8th grade, so he can't go to high school. His mom is Jennifer Hudson. She's the drug addict, and she works with works with like this drug kingpin of the projects.
Right.
And one of her close friends is I think the woman is Korean.
Okay.
She's a Korean woman but like she has some of the same problems that Jennifer Hudson has. So Jennifer Hudson ends up like watching her kid, but since Jennifer Hudson is a drug addict, her son ends up watching him because the little boy is about 7-8 years old.
Right.
So the whole movie is just based off of the summer that these two little boys, Mr. and Pete, that they spend together without their parents because their parents were locked up. And the whole summer they're trying to avoid, getting caught by child services and being held in like a juvenile center. So it is really a great film. I started crying several times. So I would definitely recommend it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if anyone, has any thoughts on this film, or maybe if they have Netflix, I definitely suggest like going on and seeing it. And it's called The Inevitable Defeat of Mr. and Pete.
All right, sounds like a good time. All right, guys, well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us, and definitely take the time to check out any films like that are on Netflix or on demand, because you never know what treasures you can find within there. Like, don't just worry about all of the mainstream movies, because there are really good films that you may not have had a chance to hear about.
The mainstream movies may not always be the best movies.
Right, exactly.
Definitely. And if you have any recommendations, any movies that you want us to review, just hit us up at the swag or hashtag us, hashtag filmstrip.
All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you.
There are people with bad intent. They'll tell you your future holds no light. They'll call you basic. Try to turn you broken. Use your back like bullseye. Reduce you into fraction, fracture your esteem. There are people with green eyes and black tongue who'll tell you your swag knows no sway. But you'll show them that there are people like you, with sturdy bone and sunshine soul, with mind like physics, and head up, and just hope that one day they'll learn to keep their head up too.
If it's glory, then I'm gonna get it tonight.
Yo, who the goddamn glory for?
If it's glory, then I'm gonna get it tonight.
Yo, who the goddamn glory for?
If it's glory, then I'm gonna get it tonight.
Who the goddamn glory for?
If it's glory, then I'm gonna get it tonight.
Yeah, who the goddamn glory for?